Now I'd like to introduce Albert Harris to you. Albert, background, I think you said military, police officer. Kind of tell me a little bit.
Yeah, I went to Vietnam in the Marine Corps 4 years, 9 months, and 13 days.
You counted them.
And then,
I bet you would.
And then after that, I joined the Department of Public Safety, and I was a state trooper.
Oh, okay.
Provided a year, and since I was single and 27 at the time, Colonel Spears, our director, didn't want to move families, so he was moved me 3 times in a year. Okay?
Whoa.
And that didn't let me finish my last 2 years of school. So I joined the San Antonio Police Department, okay? And after 2 years, I made detective investigator. And that's, after that, I got my degree in geology, and I became a petroleum geologist, went to work for Sohio out of California. Then I went independent
Wow.
for myself in Abilene, Texas, and 451 Pine, the petroleum building, and I did fairly well. Okay,
Good.
drilling wells and making a living. Well, enough that I could buy enough jewelry to start 2 jewelry stores.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you've had a diversified background.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
So something between all that good fun time happened, because when I met you, gosh, hadn't even been a year ago, you were not the happy fella sitting in front of me. I would describe you as a man that was in great pain, and in one word description, kind of a curmudgeon. You know, you were just
It was
pain.
hard for me to be happy. Okay.
Yeah.
It really was. When you have pain, you wake up 5 or 10 times during the night, and if you only wake up 2 or 3, you think you're doing great. Okay?
Yeah.
Hurting. So they had me on hydrocodones. I've been on them now for a long time.
What happened? What caused the...
The hydrocodone comes back to a fall, okay? And when I fell the first time, I smashed a vertebra, and the goo came out one side, so I went to San Antonio and had a back surgery.
Uh-huh.
And then about a year later, I had to have a second back surgery.
Uh-huh.
And I was getting ready to have my third one. And this time I fell from a pickup truck. Okay. And it was muddy, and I was back with the back end, and I was pulling weight. And anyway, in short, I fell down, okay? And when I fell, I tried to grab my balance and stuck my right arm out like this, and that tore my rotor cuff completely off.
Oh.
And it tore my large, my bicep, the large tendon tore completely off, okay? So my muscle fell down like this. Couldn't turn a screwdriver to tighten something. It hurt so bad. And I couldn't lift a cup of coffee up.
Right.
Well, guess what?
So, okay, so you're in all this pain.
Yeah.
And then you got introduced to stem cells.
Yeah, but it was freaky. My brother-in-law, who's a giver.
Yes.
Okay, good man. He called me and asked me if I'd go to a seminar that night, unless we would go too, and then we'd go out and eat steaks. Well, I said yes. Didn't know what it was
Had
about.
steak on the backside of it.
Yeah. But anyway, I went to the seminar and I listened to it for a little over an hour. And to me, it sounded like what I call Dr. Good. You know, you buy this bottle of stuff that I'm selling on my wagon, and it will cure everything. Now, hey, I'm skeptical. You got to remember, I was a homicide detective. And
Right.
I had to, you got to prove it to me. Okay, yeah. That's terrible. But anywho, I went. We ate a steak while we were eating. He said, hey, the Lord told me to buy you stem cells. And I said, Greg, I don't see you waste money. $3,000 is a lot of money. And he said, I'm not going to do 3,000. I want to get you 2 cc's of stem cells. Well, I thought about it for a few days, and then 3 or 4, and I said, hey, if you want to waste the money, okay, if somebody told me stand on my head in the corner would make me feel better as bad as I was hurting, I would stand in the corner. Uh-huh. So I got the stem cells, felt guilty about the money. I'm not used to people giving me things. I've worked all my life for what I get, so. kept getting calls saying, have you, from him and from y'all, have you had any feelings any different? No. And then about the 4th week, I reached over right here for my coffee, okay, and I have to do like this, okay, for my coffee. And I went up to my face like this and said, well, that didn't hurt like it normally does. So I put it back down and tried lifting my arm, and I got it all the way up.
Wow.
With no pain.
Wow.
So I had to call him and tell him, hey, my shoulder that is completely separated, I don't have pain, I can lift my coffee. And then I found out a week or 2 later I could turn a screwdriver and tighten something with
Wow.
it. And that was because of the bicep. So, amazing. I couldn't believe, it was hard for me to believe. It really was hard.
Yeah.
Because that's, I didn't believe it could happen.
And the difference from being in that horrible pain to being pain-free.
It was just something I'm not used to.
Yeah.
It's just, I lived with it. I was having to take hydrocodone about every 4 to 6 hours. I was becoming a chair potato, okay?
Yeah.
I wasn't going out to my brother-in-law's ranch. I wasn't going anywhere really, other than to a veterans organization that I'm a state judge advocate for. And a lot of times I didn't want to go because I was hurting so bad. So, hey, that's why I volunteered to come down and say, hey, I can't tell you it works for you, but I can tell you it worked for me. It changed my life.
It really did.
It actually changed my attitude, what I thought I could do that I couldn't do anymore, I thought. So, to me, it was a great thing, okay? And,
Just your countenance.
And God had to play a part in it, but I say God does everything, okay?
Yeah.
And hey,
He created those stem cells.
I know he did. And I know that when they're in the umbilical cord, I read everything I could on stem cells before I got injected. Okay, everything. Okay.
So you did an infusion into your vein as opposed to directly to your shoulder or somewhere. No. So it would go wherever it was most needed.
It was needed because I really didn't think it was going to work.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible, doesn't it?
No.
I really didn't, and I'm really a skeptic. Okay.
But I mean, we've been so trained with what medicine. We have to count on medicine, and for this to not be a medicine and to have such a revolutionary impact on our bodies is phenomenal.
Between my diabetes, polymyalgia rheumatica, cancers, okay, that have been removed out of me, just so much wrong, but I was one of the Agent Orange or docs and people in Vietnam, okay, no doubt about it. So I'm just happy.
So if somebody else is as skeptical about it as you, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them, hey, if it worked for me, it could work for you. And I'm a guy that everything had to be proved to me, okay?
So you became your own guinea pig?
Well, no, my brother-in-law said, if you do it and it works, you're my guinea pig. I'm going to do it. That's the truth.
Good.
So, but it's changed my life. It's just, it's like
you got your life
being
back.
able to walk, okay? Like being able to walk. And I didn't name everything. Also, when I fell, I tore 1 ligament and 2 tendons in my foot.
I remember that issue
all
too.
at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was laid up pretty bad, but I'm not wearing my brace anymore. I got a brace that comes up through my shoe and all.
I remember it.
I can't tell you why, but look at me bend my foot.
I know.
I couldn't, okay? Couldn't do that, dream of it. So God has helped me through stem cells, and that I truly believe, and I thank Him every day for it, okay?
Amen. Amen.
That is a so be it for sure.
I love it. Thank you for sharing your story. Hopefully it'll encourage some others that have had like-kind symptoms or hesitation even.
It's more than hesitation. It's something hard to accept, something that isn't medicine that's going to make you basically well.
Because it goes in, it rejuvenates, it regenerates, it restores.
It goes where it's needed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It rebuilds.
Yeah.
Because I never, I went to the surgeon who was going to do my shoulder, And I said, hey, I don't think I need to have it done. That was here. And he
That's
said,
right. You've got.
he told me, I just looked at your MRI. What do you mean you don't think it needs to be done? I said, well, let me show you something, okay? He said, what did you do? I said, I prayed. He said, what else did you do? I said, I had 2 cc's of stem cells. He said, he's not going to touch me.
Yeah, I love it. I love
me
it.
too.
To God be the glory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Al.
Hey, I'm more than glad to share it because it's so hard to believe.
Yeah. Thank you.